Hey guys, welcome back to BWNAV Politics Watch. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Shortly after Trump's inauguration, I started tracking all of his completely train wreck shenanigans under the hashtag Road to Impeachment. And it's been a bumpy ass road, okay y'all? But let me tell you, if this sentencing memo that was filed by Bob Mueller, the special counsel in the case of Michael Flynn yesterday, does not move us on down the road to impeachment, then damn it, I don't know what will. Okay, we're just gonna have to vote him out in 2020. But let's talk about this memo. So this memo was filed. Michael Flynn was the former national security advisor to the Trump administration. He had the shortest tenure ever, and he was an integral national security advisor during the campaign as well. So he pled guilty to lying to federal investigators about his calls with the Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak and telling him to back off, reacting to the sanctions imposed by the Obama administration. So although the memo was heavily redacted, Mueller was still giving us a little bit of tea in the memo, okay? So basically he was saying that Michael Flynn cooperated in a timely manner, meaning he cooperated early, which put other people on notice, and I'll get to that in a second. And he was providing substantial assistance to the special counsel. So he participated in over 19 interviews on 3 separate threads. So there was an investigation, a criminal investigation to whom we do not know. Then there was the Russia-Trump ties investigation. Then there's a completely redacted criminal investigation or investigation period that we have no idea who that's about. So Michael Flynn was up in there singing like a bird. Okay? He was snitching on everybody, y'all. And so people in Trump land were put on notice because, and that's what Mueller says. He says in the document that, you know, because Michael Flynn cooperated early, that caused other witnesses and people in the orbit to be more forthcoming. So basically, try it. Okay, come up in here lying and see if we don't indict your ass like we indicted Papadopoulos and Mike Flynn. I think that there are a lot of people in Trump world that should be very afraid right now. Okay, because if you think about it, there have been a lot of people who have testified in grand jury settings or have had different investigations with the special counsel, but there are a lot of people that have not. We know that Don Jr. hasn't, we know that Jared Kushner hasn't, and we know that they were involved. We know that Jared Kushner was involved in some of the sanction talks, according to reports. Don Jr. was involved in this meeting with the Russians, and so people who haven't been contacted by Bob Mueller, they're likely targets of the investigation, okay? And people who have been contacted by him, if they did not cooperate, then they're going to probably be in some deep shit too. So I think that it's important to note that the sentencing memo treats the ties between the Russian officials and the Trump officials as less of a hypothetical than it had in the past. And so I think we can dispel any notion that there's a question of that there were ties, but Mueller points out that Flynn gave indications to the context of those ties. So the last thing I'll say is I think this memo is very important because it's Mueller putting his money where his mouth is. Well, Mueller is saying, you know what, if you work with us, if you're truthful, if you cooperate, you don't have to worry about jail time. We'll go easy on you. So that's happened in the case of Michael Flynn. And that was the same deal that was offered to Jerome Corsi. He was supposedly a link in between WikiLeaks and the Trump campaign. And Jerome Corsi said, no, I'm not going to do that. And he went on national TV talking about, I will go to jail for the rest of my life before I cooperate. Okay, well, lock him up. Lock his ass up. If you don't want to cooperate, go directly to jail. So people like him and Roger Stone and Paul Manafort should be very concerned right now. And I think that Paul Manafort is going to be facing a lot of jail time when his sentencing memo comes out on Friday because he has been convicted of several crimes in Eastern District of Virginia. And part of his plea arrangement was admitting guilt in the other crimes that he was charged with. So he screwed Mueller over, and I think he's going to find out that that was a very bad move on his part.